We're really starting to scratch the surface of what's possible with artificial intelligence in dentistry. Just in the past year, I've been utilizing artificial intelligence in a few ways in my practice, and I'm excited to tell you about how I've been doing it. The biggest change I've made has been using artificial intelligence for caries detection software. Caries detection software is really a game changer. It helps me see things faster, it helps me see things with confidence, and it helps me have a tool to show patients what I'm seeing so they can visualize some of the dental problems that I see on x-rays that are difficult for patients to understand. Let me explain. For dentists that have never used artificial intelligence software, it's kind of like using an e-bike. It's huge, just faster. You don't have to do what the software tells you. You see something that it says it's a cavity, it's not, and you just move on. But it points out things faster and helps you just look at things faster. Another thing I love about it is it removes some emotion out of diagnosis. Whether you want to admit it or not, there's emotion that goes with looking at an x-ray and deciding if it's a cavity, should we treat it, should we not treat it, what should we do? And having the software there helps me to remove some of the emotion out of things and just call things like I see them. Another thing I love about artificial intelligence software with caries detection is just gives me a lot of confidence. I see it, the software sees it. I just feel like I'm working with another person. I also love it from the patient education standpoint. It shows my patients that I'm up to date with what's going on, and it also is very visually appealing to see what the software shows you. When you show a patient an x-ray that doesn't have anything marked on it, it's really hard for the patient to understand what it took me years to learn how to understand. Years went by where I didn't even show patients x-rays because I felt like I was just explaining something to them that they weren't going to understand, and I was maybe insulting them or something like that. But now I feel so much more confident showing patients x-rays when I have the software that shows what they're supposed to see. I remember the first time I showed it to a patient, I was using it for a while before I started showing it to patients. I showed it to a really tech-savvy patient who I thought would stand it and appreciate it, and he thought it was awesome. So then I started showing it to everybody, and I found that everybody thought it was awesome. So I don't ever walk into a room anymore without my iPad to show patients what I'm seeing. Another way I've been using artificial intelligence in my practice is with ChatGPT to rewrite all of my post-operative instructions for patients. We found that our post-operative care instructions to patients were pretty disorganized and just lacking in actionable information, just kind of going on and on and on, kind of like I'm doing in this video right now. Anyways, we put all of our instructions into ChatGPT, asked it to rewrite it in an understandable, fast way. We were able to take pages and pages of instructions that we used to give to patients and consolidate them down into half-page pieces of information. ChatGPT is really great at editing text that you might be giving to people that puts it in a way that they can understand it quickly and effectively. We also use ChatGPT to craft post-operative instructions for patients in different languages. So it's really been helpful. Gosh, the future of AI in dentistry, there's so many exciting possibilities that are coming up. There's a few disparate things here and there with smile simulation software where we can show patients how they would look if we restored their front teeth. We can show patients what it would look like if they aligned their teeth. Putting all that software into one is got to be on the horizon really soon, and I'm excited to incorporate that into what I give to patients. Another thing that I hope is coming down the pipe is testing out treatment plans. Now, they already have software, artificial intelligence software, that'll help you decide what implant to place, how to angle it, what dimensions you should choose, etc., that syncs together with images and implant planning software, and that's all great. And every time I look up treatment planning software that's coming out, I see that treatment planning, where to place an implant. But I want to go a few steps back further than that of like, let's develop a treatment plan for the patient. Like, what should we do first? Which teeth should we tackle first? Which strategic plan makes the most sense for the patient? Simulating different cosmetic plans, simulating different restorative plans, just simulating plans that we have for patients and seeing what outcomes are going to come is coming soon, and it's going to be really exciting for us to give those pieces of information to patients so we can make decisions on how to proceed with care. I also hope that the software gets sophisticated enough where we can show patients that this tooth has this percentage of decay in it based on artificial intelligence software analyzing how much of the tooth is decayed, how much is not decayed, so we can make better decisions pre-treatment of whether or not a tooth needs a filling, a crown, a root canal, or maybe if the tooth should be extracted. It would be great if software could help us guide those decisions so that we could share them with patients so they could see the rationale. There's been many times where I've started treatment on a tooth and there was more decay in it than I had suspected, and I did a filling where maybe I wish I had done a crown. It would have been great if some software could have analyzed that before me starting treatment so that I could have made a better decision pre-treatment about what to do. I'm not always right when it comes to making decisions decisions about what needs to be done, and sometimes you just get in there and things are worse than you expected them to be. I think there's tremendous potential of artificial intelligence and what it's going to be able to do for front desks as well. Making in-game scheduling decisions is going to be huge. Giving real-time information to administrative staff so that they can decide where resources are best used. For instance, hey, you know what? The schedule is empty 3 days from now. Everyone in the front needs to be working on filling that schedule as opposed to what other activities they might be working on. Checklists are things that we use a lot in our practice, but it would be great if there was a intelligent checklist updating itself constantly, telling administrative staff where their resources are best used. That's coming. I'm really excited for different developments that are coming with artificial intelligence and seeing how they're going to help us to be more conservative with patients, how they're going to help us to show patients what we're imagining as dentists so that they can see their treatment options and what are the pros, the cons, the benefits, and also just creating simulations for patients that are effective, that don't take a long time, and that don't require opening up multiple softwares. I think this is going to be a great tool to show patients what's possible, to show doctors what's possible, and to give them inspiration for how to proceed with care with patients.